Seiko truly is a watch fan's watch brand, namely because there are so many important references, Easter eggs, and Seiko sub-brands to keep track of, you would have already become an enthusiast by the time you remember them all. Today, the topic is tributing the 60th anniversary of the very first Seiko dive watch from 1965, the now legendary 62 Mass. But curiously, the headlining release for this celebration is referencing watch from 1968 instead. I'm talking of course about the reference 6159 with its hulking monobloc case and high beat movement that would eventually go on to inspire the Marinemaster line. The Seiko Marinemaster Professional SLA081 is the latest and possibly greatest member of that collection, sporting titanium monobloc construction, an innovative bezel retention system, 600 meters of water resistance, and a Grand Seiko-derived movement. It might not look like the 62 Mass, but it certainly feels like a worthy successor. Let's start with that case, as it's the defining feature of the SLA081. Getting size out of the way first, it's 45.4mm across with a thickness of 16mm and lug-to-lug of 50.4. We often point out how the diameter is not the be-all end-all of sizing, but in this case, it's just as good an indication as any, as this is a proper beast on the wrist. There is a but here, and that's the titanium case material. This watch is by no means lightweight, but I can't imagine the heft if it was in steel. Do you feel like this size is justified by its specs? Let us know in the comments. The coolest part is the one-piece case construction, referencing the collectible reference 6159 from the late 60s and early 70s. You'll also notice there's no helium escape valve despite the 600 meters of water resistance. So how does Seiko prevent the watch from exploding during decompression? Just like the titanium case material, the SLA081 takes inspiration from yet another Seiko legend, the first ever tuna from 1975. Alongside the novel case material, the grandfather tuna introduced a special L-shaped gasket that prevents helium from entering the watch in the first place, so nothing to leave it either. You'll also notice that the construction of the case does have an added complexity, with protruding black pieces between the lugs and under the bezel. Now that's a special bezel holding development of Seiko's, allowing easier disassembly and cleaning, simply by removing 4 screws on the case back, rather than fitting the bezel directly to the case, as usual. The dial is no less unique than the case, though it goes about it a bit more subtly. The Marinemaster SLA081 has indices that are actually part of the dial, as they're pressed out into their convex shape from a single blank. As a result, the dials are better protected against shock, as the indices could normally fall off, but now they still have a 3-dimensional effect. Seiko further emphasizes this 3-dimensionality by covering the whole dial in a thick layer of transparent lacquer that sits at the same height as the rehaut. As a result, the dial surface itself is flat, but the texture pattern below shifts and reflects beautifully, helped by the gradient abyss blue finish. I know this is a tool watch made to meet demands of deep-sea diving, but I could just as easily see this dial on a Grand Seiko. It really is that good. Seiko has clearly taken notice of their fans wanting better quality bracelets, as their latest releases have all carefully considered this element of the watch. And at this higher price point, the SLA081 should have a good bracelet. And it does. The multi-link, multi-finish of the bracelet is supremely comfortable thanks to its rounded links, and tapers down from the wide lug so as not to feel overbearing. The clasp is still quite bulky, though finished just as well as the rest of the bracelet, and offers diver's extension functionality. It's not as seamless as some toolless micro adjusts out there, but it's certainly utilitarian, which is fitting for the rest of the watch. I can't even talk about the movement being hidden behind a screw-down caseback, as there simply isn't one here, but Seiko still includes a medallion with its signature wave insignia. The 8L45 is new to the Seiko catalog, derived from the Grand Seiko 9S65. It sports a 72-hour power reserve, upping it significantly from its 8L35 predecessor thanks to a thinner and longer mainspring, though unlike those vintage high-beat Seiko Pro divers, it only beats at 4 Hz. If you need it any more convincing, the SLA081 is also going to be field tested as a part of an Arctic research program by the Japan Agency for Marine, Earth Science and Technology. You can see why the JAMSTEC acronym is preferred. Seiko and JAMSTEC go way back, with numerous watches accompanying some proper deep dives, ranging from 600 meters all the way down to 3,000 meters in 2014. The Seiko Marinemaster SLA081 should be the complete antithesis of what I find cool in a watch. I prefer dinky sub-38mm vintage pieces with questionable reliability, so the fact that I find the Seikos fascinating says enough. The dial is phenomenal, and the case material and construction are a proper throwback to Seiko's legends of the past without feeling overly gimmicky. The Seiko Prospex Marinemaster Professional SLA081 is limited to 600 pieces, available in July 2025 and priced at $4,600 US. If you enjoyed this review, leave a like and let us know in the comments, and subscribe for more videos like this one.